Today, in this episode, I want to talk about how to hire the perfect candidate, how to read people during interviews, and what it is that I personally look for and what you should be looking for when you're doing interviews. So right now, at this point in my career, pretty much how my hierarchy of employees is set up we'll take my restaurants for example. So we've got front of the house employees. That would be more so like, your bartenders, your servers, your hostesses, etc. Then we've also got our back of the house employees. Our back of the house employees is going to be your cooks, your barbacks, different people of that nature, your expos, people that are running the food for you, etc. So you've got your front of the house, and then you've also got your back of the house staff. Finally, you've got your management staff, and that's pretty much where I come in. So as an owner, my focus is on the management staff. We've got so many servers, so many bartenders, but it's so much easier for me to just focus on the people that are helping me manage and maintain the business, as well as these individuals are the ones that are going to be hiring the servers, the bartenders, and the hostesses. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you all know that I'm notorious for saying, hey, don't contact me. I don't hire the servers. I don't hire the bartenders. I don't hire the hostesses. I can't help you. And it's so true. I don't hire those individuals. The people that I hire are the general managers, the assistant general managers, the bar managers, the kitchen managers, and so forth, as well as my people that are in operations, my director of operations, food and beverage managers, etc. And when you have a growing company, I basically went from having many businesses to now having a fully flourishing, growing hospitality company. Shout out to Dillard Hospitality Group. And so when you've got a fully flourishing company, you really need to know what it is that you should be focused on. Because, we've only got 24 hours in a day. 8 of those hours should be for sleeping. It's not good to run yourself ragged. So then that leaves you 16 hours. If you've got a family, a personal life, things of that nature, that cuts that time down even more. So when you've got maybe your 12 hours that you're focused on business, there is no way that I can focus on 400 different employees. So what I choose to focus on is my managers. When I am interviewing managers, there's a plethora of different things that we look for, okay? First, let's talk about where we even get our resumes from, where we find our staff members from. There's basically 3 different ways that I find my managers. One, first and foremost, and probably the best way to find them, is by way of referrals. So I make sure that I communicate, network with, and keep relationships with other people in the industry, other managers that have worked for me, that have left on good terms and have went on to other positions. Some of them were higher ranked positions at other companies. Still keeping in touch with those people so that I can know who to hire, who not to hire. Sometimes you'll get somebody and you'll get their resume and there'll be a name on there, like for example, Fin and Feathers. The person who owns Fin and Feathers used to work for me as one of my general managers. Well, I'm not going to see that name on a resume and not pick up the phone and call him and say, hey, did Mario such and such work for you? How did they leave? Was it a good experience? So that's why it's very important to make sure that you're networking and keeping up good relationships. People will send you referrals. And for the most part, if you get a referral from another owner or for someone that has worked for you, that person is normally going to be somebody that would probably be a pretty good candidate for management. Okay. Yo, there is no better time to start a business than right now. And I've got the perfect tool to help you to do so. My masterclass, How to Start Your Own Business, Entrepreneurship 101. So if you're looking to start your own business or to further the business that you currently have, this is definitely a masterclass that you don't want to miss out on. Every online course that I have also gives you a list of referrals. So I'll also be giving referrals on the best CPAs, attorneys, bankers, credit personnel to work with here in the industry as well. So be sure that you guys head on over to my website, WhoIsSnoop.com. Click the link on my bio. Go to my YouTube, Who is Snoop, so that you can take advantage of this masterclass. I'm telling you guys, you'll be starting your own business tomorrow. Another way that we get some of our candidates and some of our resumes is from Craigslist. I still use Craigslist to this day. A lot of people stopped using Craigslist after the Craigslist killer. Y'all may be too young for that. But when it comes to employment, it's still a really, really good source of applicants. So we always, whenever we're looking for management staff members, we always put an ad on Craigslist, okay? The third way is through Indeed. Now, with Indeed, you have to be, very cognizant of Indeed, because they try to sneak on a lot of charges for you just to put ads up, and the amount of people that click they ad, they try to charge you, per click. So when you're setting up your ad, make sure that you put that it's a $0 budget, that you don't want to pay per click or anything like that. I've accidentally gotten bills for hundreds of dollars, from Indeed. But they are a good source, of applicants and resumes as well. And then the fourth way that I get people, and this is probably the worst way, is through Instagram, okay? Just unfortunately, a lot of the people on Instagram are playing around. They bought that BS. You'll put something up, hey, I'm hiring a general manager. Email your resume to such and such and 2 photos. They'll get to DMing you. Hi, now where do I send it at? Well, now I worked at McDonald's and then I worked at Taco Bell. Is that okay, Snoop? This is my thing that I always say on my Instagram, okay? Number one, follow the directions. If you can't follow the directions from a post, I know you can't work for me, because I give way too many directions on a day-to-day basis. I'm not about to hire you to do management for none of my businesses, because all you're gonna do is give me a freaking headache, okay? So that's first and foremost. And what people don't understand is that the interview starts from the moment that you make contact with that company. So from the moment that you get to hitting somebody up and making contact, the interview starts then. Secondly, back to the Instagram situation. For example, I was looking for, currently looking for line cooks and kitchen managers for my Esco seafood business. Generally, I don't have much to do with the cooks and different things of that nature. Like I said, I generally always hire the managers. However, when I first open up a business, I'm a little bit more hands-on in hiring that first initial staff. So I put up a post. It said, hey, send me pictures of your seafood, send me your resume, send it to this email address. I had people still asking for the email address. I had people sending me pictures of bread. I had people sending me pictures of roast beef. I had people sending me pictures of raw food. And then this is another reason why all those things are listed, because I'm not the person that's going to be hitting you back. All of this stuff, like I said, I'm running a company, so everything is someone's job. So if you follow the directions and email me, then if I'm interested in you, I can clearly press forward and send it out to the person that's going to be conducting your interview. Okay, if you just gonna hit me up in my DM and say, hey, I told my homeboy Larry to hit you up, his seafood real good, what you think I'm gonna do about that? I'm not going searching for Larry. I'm the one given the opportunity. I don't have time to be on Instagram going to 30-something chefs' pages looking for food and all of that. If you want the opportunity, you have to follow the directions. Now, once we get to the point of actually having the interview, so if you have the staff to be able to do so, one of the things that I do is I only do the final interview now, okay? Unfortunately, most of the people that are going to hit you up and that are going to apply for a job interview, they're not going to show up, okay? So you may have, let's say you got 10 people that you're interested in that's sending their resume, okay? About a third of those people are actually going to show up for the interview, okay? Maybe half, depending upon how well known your company is and how good of a job you've done in screening out these resumes, okay? So let's say half. Let's say you've got a well-known company, you're well-known in the city like I am, and you've done a good job in screening out these applicants. Still, only half of these people are gonna show up, okay? So half of them gonna show up, and then you may actually be interested in hiring another half of them, all right? So let's keep in mind the interview starts at the moment that the person makes contact with you, okay? So back when I did not have all of this help, and I was the person on the other end talking to them, so I was setting up my interview, and I would act like I was some assistant. So even before I had an assistant, I pretended that I had an assistant. I literally had made up some girl name and everything, and we would be writing these people back. The email had a signature. It would say whatever, LaDon Dillard, okay, assistant to Michelle Dillard. They still talking to me the whole time. They don't even know it, you know, even when I was setting up the interviews. But it makes you look more professional, okay? Nobody really wants to come work for you when you're just starting.